Hello everybody, this is Mr. Storm. In this video, I want to show you a very quick and easy way for you to throw together your movie poster. This is going to be a series of videos. This first video, we're going to build the structure, do a bit of compositing, get our main characters in there. It's going to look pretty rough. It's not going to be super pretty, but it'll look, you'll get the idea of what we're going for by the end of it. So for mine, this is the mock-up that I have. My hero is going to be called Xenon, and he's going to be he's going to have like neon type powers, right? And so I'm going to have my hero here facing to the right, and then I'll have my main bad guy here. I'm going to have some text up here, the main text down here. So that's my basic idea for the design for this page. I went out and I grabbed a couple of images that I think would go really well. Let me improve the... Giancarlo Esposito is going to be my main bad guy. And I lucked out. This pose right here looks almost perfect for what I want. I just have to flip him horizontally. And then I'm casting Pedro Pascal here as my superhero, my Xenon hero. So I'm going to take the Superman body here, and I'm going to put his head on his body. And I'm going to do some color correction and stuff on the costume here to make it look different, make it look nice. But we're basically, I'm going to be using these three images. Now, obviously, you're not doing exactly what I'm doing, but hopefully I'm going to do enough in this project so that you can see the process and you get ideas for what you want to do with yours. Okay, so I'm going to open up Photoshop here. I'm going to click Create New. I want it to be inches, and I want it to be 24 inches by 36 inches. Resolution will be, I'm not going to print mine, so I'm just going to keep mine at 72. RGB, sure. All that looks good. And I'm going to click Create. Okay. Oh, and I have my grid lines on here from when I was doing some pixel art for my video game that I'm working on. Anyway, so here is my poster, and I want to see how we can get from here to here. So first of all, we need to talk about how Photoshop uses layers. Over down here in this area is where the layers menu lives. Now, layers are kind of like transparent. I mean, layers is pretty much the best word for them, but like think of a transparent sheet of paper. If I had a white background and then I had a transparent sheet of paper with maybe a character drawn on it, and I put it on that white background, I would see through the transparent parts, but the character would show up because it's on that transparent piece of paper. So layers are basically transparent layers that we can put things on and move them around and do stuff with. So I'm going to bring in my artwork here. Let's start with my Superman body. So I'm going to drop that in. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now this is way too big for my project, but I like it at this size just because we're about to cut this Superman body out, right? And so while I'm cutting this out, I want it to be as big as possible. I don't want to shrink it down and then realize later, oh, I actually want it to be bigger than it is. Now notice that I have this little stop icon. That stop icon means that this is a smart object and I need to actually rasterize. So I'm going to right click and go rasterize layer. Now I can actually make edits to it. Now the best way, the easiest way to select this background and get rid of it, there are a lot of different tools we can use. I like to try the quick select tool. This background is pretty busy, so it might be difficult, but I'm going to try the quick select tool here. Now, all you have to do is hold down your left mouse button on one of these menus to get more. I'm going to choose this quick selection tool. Now, I'm also making sure I'm selecting this layer here. And I'm going to go ahead and just start kind of drawing to see if I can select some stuff and delete. Come on. It's not actually select. Oh, it selected the individual pixels. So maybe quick select isn't the best idea for this. Let's do my lasso tool. How about that? That's going to be a better way to do it because it's going to select all of the pixels inside. Okay, so now with my lasso tool, I've just cut that part out of it. And yeah, and now I can just kind of keep going. I'm going to go, actually, I don't need to worry about the head because I'm going to cut the head off. So let me get the head cut off here. And I'm going to zoom in here so I can do nice around the neck kind of things. Actually, let me look at my picture of Pedro Pascal. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of neck showing. So I can cut all the way down to the uniform. Now I'm not going to do this perfectly. I am kind of going pretty quickly here because I don't want to spend all day doing a bunch of compositing on the video. I don't want to waste your time. All right. And then now to deselect that area, all you have to do is use Control D. And that'll deselect whatever you have selected. Oh, hello. I went too far over, too far down. I must have hit something on my keyboard. All right. And then all I'm doing is basically just trying to cut out as much of this as I possibly can before I get into the details close to the body. This is usually my process. I like to cut all the easy to cut stuff first and then do more detailed work. I know a lot of people like to jump straight into the detailed work, but for me, I don't know why, but this just is kind of always how I've done it. There's probably an argument to be made for doing it a different way. Anyway, so I'm going to zoom in here and I'm just going to start doing my detailed work. And again, I'm kind of rushing it. Normally I would spend a lot of time making sure I was not cutting too much or not leaving too many artifacts. But again, because I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me do this all day, I'm kind of going quickly. Now, yeah, see there's a big gap there that I'm going to have to deal with in a little bit, and a big gap around the arm there. Compositing is one of those things that can take hours or a couple of minutes, depending on how much attention to detail you're paying. Normally, I'm zoomed way, way in, and I'm really paying attention to what I'm doing and going slowly. I also normally am using my, I have a drawing tablet and a pen that I use. I'm normally using that as well, but I figured for this project I would keep it put away because not all, you guys all don't have the same kind of stuff I do, so it'd be unfair if I was using some cool toy that you guys don't have access to. All right. Cool. And if I was smart, I'd probably like pause this video and speed it up. But I do want to show you that even with doing the monotonous stuff, the boring stuff, this is not going to take too long. All right. And I just looked at time and I realized I'm actually going a lot slower than I want to. So I'm really just going to get kind of quick about it. That was not a good cut at all. That was really gross. Maybe I should pay more attention, spend more time. Oh well. Okay. Let's see, how are we looking? The cape looks really nice. That side looks really nice. I'm going to say I'm probably going to just cut from... No, you know what? I do want the hands to be in the composite. I want the hands to be glowing. So I'll cut that. Which means I got to get rid of this part. And that part there. Okay. All right, so that's quick. You know, that could have gone a lot better if I had taken the time to really slow down and do it the right way. But, you know, it's all good. I'm going to create a new layer for the head. And so all I did was click this plus button down here for new layer. And I'm going to bring in my picture of Pedro Pascal. And I'm going to hit enter. Now I want to cut his head out of this thing, right? So I'm going to go in and just start cutting around the neck. And I'll say literally everything other than neck. Oh, again, if you get that, you know, hey, this isn't editable because it's a smart object, make sure you go in and rasterize. Now I can delete. Okay. Perfect. Control D. All right. And, oh, I cut some of his beard. I don't want to cut his beard. All right. I'm going quickly here, which is making for a not great composite. But I do want to speed up. So, okay. Control D. Oh, I did that again. Okay. All right. Scroll up and zoom out. All right. So then all of this on this layer can get deleted as well. All right. So now I have to put head on body. So let's see. It's not going to be just that easy, right? Because that looks super weird. First of all, he needs to rotate a little bit. So I also need to scale it. So I'm going to Control T, which is going to give me my free transform tools. I want to rotate it just a bit. I'm going to scale it down a lot. Now, while I'm scaling, I actually don't want to squish his nugget here. I don't want to squish the brain. So if I hold shift, it'll keep the aspect ratio. I think it's better if I flip him horizontally. Let's go layer. Nope. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. Oh God, that doesn't look as good as I wanted it to. All right, scale it down. Keep it coming. Let's put that layer behind. Okay. It still looks weird to me, but you know what? It might have to... Okay. I think that's about as... Wow, his head looks really... Oh, hello. Where'd I go? Oh, that way. His head looks really small in comparison to the body. So maybe Henry Cavill just has a bigger head than Pedro Pascal. Anyway. All right. That looks close enough. Okay, close enough. Now with my brush, let me grab my eraser tool. I can come in here and I need it much bigger. Come in here and just start kind of like making fine-tune adjustments. And again, I'd probably want to do a lot more compositing behind his head, but I'm not going to spend that much time. All right, so now Pedro Pascal is Superman, although his head is ridiculously small, so I'm definitely going to make that bigger. Control T and go a little bigger on the... Okay. That's much better. That looks a lot better. Okay, so Pedro Pascal is now Superman. Let's bring in... Gosh, that just doesn't look great. Okay, anyway. Let's bring in Giancarlo here. Okay, now, his pose is almost exactly what I want, except I do want to flip the layer. So edit, and let's transform, flip it horizontally. Nah, I liked it the way it was before. All right. Where did I go? Edit. There we are. Transform, flip it horizontally again. Okay. So he's going to be kind of like right here, although I definitely want him scaled down more. Okay. And then we're going to cut out his stuff. We're going to do some compositing. Luckily, we might even be able to get away with Magic Wand on this one. Oh, I need to rasterize. Rasterize layer. So Magic Wand is a tool that will try to cut out your background for you by looking at pixels that are continuous, basically, or contiguous, sorry, looking at pixels that are of the same value that are close to your subject. Now we've gotten pretty close here. That looks pretty good, although all of that looks really gross. So with that, we'd want to go in with either get closer with the magic wand and clean it up, which leaves these weird artifacts. Or we'd want to go in with a lasso and clean it up so that there's a more smooth line, which is probably the better bet. Right, that's much, much smoother. Oh. So anyway, so let's clean up Giancarlo here. We don't want him to look messy. He's supposed to be a clean-cut bad guy. He's supposed to be a, you know, a boss. All right, that looks... I did not want to search. Thank you. That looks good enough for now. We're going to do some stuff with color correction to make all of this a lot easier, and we're going to put some stuff in here like smoke in between these two and whatnot. But for right now, I think we've got the basic elements we want. I am going to... Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm going to call it for this video. In the next video, we will put in some of the more... we'll talk about lighting, color. We'll actually get into coloring his suit so that it's more... so that it's more of my superhero's costume instead of Superman. Yeah, when I'm not on the video, I'm probably going to clear up some of this compositing here. But yeah, in the next video, we'll do that. We'll do some color changing. We'll make this suit look a lot better, a lot more like my superhero, and we'll start adding in some other effects and stuff. All right, cool. This has been awesome. This has been fun. I will see you next time.